A mystical force is taking young people to the other side one by one, and small children are next. Who and how awakened the ruthless supernatural killer? Don't miss one of the most shocking investigations by the psychics. This is Psychic Investigations, a channel of true and impressive stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate intricate criminal cases and incredible paranormal phenomena. Victoria Shandiba, a 21-year-old widow from Ukraine, approached the psychics. She's raising a daughter, Karina, and a son, Nazar, on her own. The children's father, Yevhen, died in a motorcycle crash last year. Now her children are in danger. The mother says a supernatural force has started hunting them. Recently, her 5-year-old daughter almost died in the bathtub.
She was bathing in the tub. My son-in-law's cologne was on the sink and it fell and bounced right into the tub. Glass shattered everywhere.
The grandmother, who was with her granddaughter at that moment, was petrified with horror because she saw a dark silhouette near the girl.
It was stroking her head, wanting to take her with it. I got very, very scared.
Soon, 2-year-old Nazar also found himself on the brink of life and death.
I left the room for literally 2 seconds and realized that Nazar started screaming very loudly.
A microwave almost crushed the boy.
The microwave fell off with the anchors and everything, and it fell to the floor. 4 anchors, and the wall is thick. It's got to be some force. It can't be happening for no reason.
We fear for our grandchildren.
Karina says she's petrified of the dark silhouette that's hunting her and her brother.
She says she sees a shadow walking around, and she's afraid. She's afraid to stay alone.
And little Nazar wakes up screaming every night. The boy is so scared that he can't even describe what he sees near him.
He screams at night, "Mom, I'm scared." Nothing helps, neither holy water nor prayers. Nothing helps. It's horrifying. The psychics are my only hope. We can't deal with it without them.
Gypsy clairvoyant Rubina Tsibulska took on the case, and she's already working with the family's photo.
I see black crosses over the children. It's a death mark. Mirror, show me what it is. I saw a silhouette in the mirror, but I didn't have time to take a closer look at it. A fire started. Water, please. My God.
It can't be. The candle tipped over out of a sudden.
I see a little boy. He's fair-haired. He has a birthmark on his hand the size of a coin. He's holding something shiny. There is something like a doll lying in front of him. Wait. It's a needle in his hand. And he seems to be piercing the doll once, twice.
Is it Nazar?
No.
Rubina heads out for the investigation. Jana Shulikova joins her on her way there. She and her colleague, Olena Kuriilova, happen to be passing through the town where the family lives.
I couldn't stay to help because I had to go to another investigation the next day. I dreamed of my grandmother. She clearly said, "Look for a woman with a green petal on her arm. Hopefully, it will help you."
It's so weird.
I watched Rubina and Jana leave, and I saw a silhouette behind them. I decided to help them, at least remotely.
I'm having a strange vision. I'm in the forest. A man in a black cloak with a hood approaches me. He's holding a staff shaped like a cross, and it's burning with fire. The man has no head. His head is in his hands. I ask him, "Who are you?" And he says, "You will find out when you die."
What is this?
I think I heard a bump, but I don't see anyone around.
The clairvoyants stopped some 200 meters from their destination.
Jana, look, a cemetery and houses.
What are those children doing there? Children, get out of there!
Isn't there a playground anywhere around here?
But no, it's not normal.
The psychics arrive at Victoria's home. Victoria goes out to greet them with Yevhen's mother and her daughter Karina.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for agreeing to come and help us.
Suddenly, Rubina approaches the crowd without any explanation.
Could you come up? There's death standing behind you. Do you feel it?
Yes. It feels like someone is watching me, but there's nobody around.
You need to be more careful and you need to protect your head. I couldn't think then that the woman was connected to our investigation. I have a feeling that you are afraid to stay in this house.
Yes.
This house belongs to the parents of the deceased Yevhen. He was born and raised here, and after the wedding, he and his wife moved in here. While Rubina Tsibulska goes to work inside, Zhana Shulikova decides to tune in to Karina to understand what force is trying to kill the girl and her brother.
Did you hear a bang inside?
Like somebody suddenly slammed the door and left.
When we were approaching your house, our van stopped for some reason, and we heard a bump.
But what do these strange noises mean?
Victoria, it's like you don't live here.
Our parents bought us an apartment and we moved there.
2 months ago, Victoria moved from the village to the nearest town, thinking the problem was in the house where she lived with her husband and children. However, the dangerous incidents with her children never ceased.
The problem is not in the house.
I see an empty road and a man standing on it. He's in a gray tracksuit. And he's terribly pale.
Children's dad.
He had a gray tracksuit.
She sees him.
She said she'd seen dreams with her father.
Grandma, am I going to die?
Karina dreams that her dad takes her to his home.
He told me to follow him. I sat up after I woke up.
Dad doesn't wish to harm you, he's simply worried about something. I clearly saw the image of the deceased, Yevhen, but behind him, there was something like a shadow. I didn't understand if it was a spirit or an entity, but that thing took Yevhen to the other world, and now it's hunting his children.
We were surprised, but Yevhen's relatives said that he had a premonition of his death.
He said, "It's the last time I'm visiting you." He felt that something was going to happen.
Shortly before his death, the man told his parents that a dark silhouette was following him everywhere. And now, something similar is scaring Yevhen's children.
They are being hunted by someone in black. I asked if it was the same silhouette that followed Zhana and Rubina. And the answer was yes.
Let's see. It's a man, and he's also dead. And he has a staff. It's almost like in the vision I saw. A man in a black cloak with a hood. Rubina. The shadow. It took the father.
My mirror is showing me crosses. He saw crosses. Were they graves?
Yes, he mentioned that. He had dreams of tombs and crosses.
I had a vision of 3 men's graves. One of them is Yevhen, but I didn't understand who the other 2 men were. And next to the graves stood a fair-haired woman with a mark on her hand.
But who is that woman? How is she connected to Yevhen's death? And whose are the other 2 graves the psychic saw in her vision?
And Yevhen wasn't standing there alone. There was a young man with him.
Oleksiy. He was his younger brother.
We couldn't understand how this poor woman was holding up at all. She buried her 2 sons when they were young, and now her grandchildren were also in mortal danger. It turned out that Oleksiy died 8 years ago while at work, in a warehouse. A pallet of paint buckets fell on him. Oleksiy was buried in a closed coffin. The parents couldn't even say a proper goodbye to their son.
Aunt Helena was so grief-stricken that Yevhen had to pull her away from the coffin.
Both Yevhen and Oleksiy were victims of the same force, and I felt that both brothers saw something otherworldly before their deaths.
The brother's mother confirmed that Oleksiy behaved very strangely the night before his death.
Around 3 in the morning, he went outside. I asked him, "Wait, where are you going?" He said he'd be right back. I went out after him and saw him standing at the corner of the house, just like that, at the corner of the house next to the step. I asked him, "Why are you standing here?" And he said he'd stand there a little more and come back.
Oleksiy died first. It all started with him, so we must seek for the answer in his death.
The psychics ask for Oleksiy's photo to work with.
The child looks very much like the one I saw this morning. I see a little boy, fair-haired, and he has a birthmark the size of a coin. Helena, did Oleksiy have a birthmark?
Yes.
I had a vision this morning before the investigation. I saw Oleksiy as a little boy. In front of him was a doll dressed in white, and he was sticking needles into it. This time, I saw that next to the boy stood a woman of about 50. She gave him the doll and the needle.
It's our neighbor.
We didn't understand what it was about or how the neighbor was involved in all this, but the woman came out of the crowd and approached the psychics herself.
My name is Katerina.
Their granddaughter died. It was little Katya. Oleksiy sewed a flower.
He sewed a flower where?
To the girl's dress.
It's hard to believe, but why did this woman make little Oleksiy sew a wedding flower to the dress of her dead granddaughter, who was lying in the coffin?
It was a custom in the village.
What custom are you talking about?
He sewed 2 flowers, one to his clothes and the other to the girl's dress.
Wait a minute, did he bring a flower from her?
Yes.
Does it mean Oleksiy was essentially engaged with the dead girl?
Did you do this?
So what? I never wished anyone harm.
Ask the people around.
It turned out that Helena and her husband believe that Katerina is a witch. They also think their sons died because of her, and their only grandchildren are on the brink of death now.
Why did you take my son?
And why did you lie on the ground in the cemetery?
It turns out that more than once, people saw the woman at the cemetery, lying among the graves in the middle of the night. Is there any explanation to such behavior? Could it be really a ritual of some kind? Is she really a witch?
What are you people talking about?
This ritual is connected with magic. You have to roll on the grass among graves when treating sciatica. That woman was apparently familiar with village magic.
But something else interested us, namely, if Katerina was really responsible for the deaths of her neighbor's sons, and if the children of one of the brothers were in danger. Listen, my mirror showed me that this woman indeed has a lot of negativity and a sharp tongue. But I see that she didn't do it intentionally. She only wanted to follow the custom.
It's a custom.
She's not a witch.
There have never been witches in my family.
The fact that Oleksiy and Yevhen died is not related to the flower. Only Oleksiy sewed the flower, but they both died. I think we need to see their graves.
I tuned into the 3 young men. It turned out that all 3 had head injuries. And then one of them rose from the grave and spoke to me.
Hello?
Jana, I see a man, a young man, and his head is half torn off. It's hanging, wobbling, like after a car crash. He says, "They are all here with me. This is something connected with this story you're investigating."
She sees a man next to Yevhen and Oleksiy. Who is he to them?
Volodymyr, he's gone. He died tragically.
Were they friends with him?
Yes, they're all buried there.
How did he die?
He had an accident in his car. The rescuers had to cut the car to get him out. That's true.
Without his head?
Yes, he was without his head.
We were shocked. 3 best friends died one after another tragically, and all had head injuries. It's unlikely to be a coincidence.
Volodymyr is also a victim of the man in the black cloak.
They were all together here, and they are all together there now, and something connects them all.
What did you do, my dear children? What did you do and why?
Since Volodymyr, the friend of the brothers, contacted Olena Kurilova in her vision, I decided to contact with him too. I need to visit Volodymyr's grave.
All right, let's go.
Look what's happening to the candle. When I tune into Volodymyr, I also get the feeling that he sensed he was going to die.
He came on the 9th day after Oleksiy's death and said, "Aunt Helena, I hope I won't die too."
All the three men sensed their deaths, but the question is, who took them to the other side and why?
Wait, Shauna, I saw this woman in the morning, remember? Death is standing behind you. You need to protect your head.
They were all classmates. Tetiana, come over here.
Were you their classmate? How long had you known one another?
You could say we'd known each other since we were born.
The green petal.
A woman with a green petal on her arm. That's what Olena mentioned.
It's a tattoo.
Three dead men and the fourth is a woman.
It's the same entity and it's behind you.
And it's something from your childhood that you all did.
We burned dry grass and accidentally started a fire at a graveyard.
Tetiana and her now deceased friends played at a cemetery as children. They started fires there, which burned crosses and graves.
I was at the old cemetery.
But who is the man in the black cloak who took the boys to the other side and is now hunting their classmate and Yevhen's children? We need to go to that cemetery.
The territory of the dead, you see, it's their home. You disturbed the dead, their spirits.
We thought a spirit was avenging the friends for burning its grave. But the truth turned out to be much scarier. It's Olena again.
Jana, it's me.
Hello.
Jana, I'm in a real trouble. I broke my arm. I fell from the ladder.
Oh, God.
I figured out who the dead man in the black cloak was. I climbed to the attic to get my book on cemetery magic. As soon as I reached the top of the ladder, it felt like someone knocked it out from under me. Jana, do you know who the master of the cemetery is?
Oh, my goodness.
Jana, it's him. I'm absolutely sure.
Who is that?
The master of the cemetery is an entity that guards the peace of the dead in a cemetery. It is somebody who died a violent death and was first to be buried at a cemetery. After that, they become its master.
So the man Jana Shulikova saw in her vision is the master of the cemetery. Did he really die from a head injury?
He holds a cross-shaped staff in his hand, and he has no head. His head is in his hands. I remembered that our van was stopped by some impact this morning.
What's this?
My God, what is this? And it happened right across from the cemetery.
The master of the cemetery. He wanted to point us to the children who were running among the graves, playing and laughing.
Kids, get out of here. old cemeteries are sites of great power. It is the master of the cemetery, and he will punish anyone. It's not just this family. The entire village will suffer.
What do we do to stop it?
When you make amends with the master of the cemetery, you bring him money, vodka, wine, sweets, apples, honey, bread, and so on. Let's do that.
And I'll take my sand to make a circle, and we'll make the offering in it.
People go home and bring something to offer to the master of the cemetery. The altar has food, drinks, and money. The villagers hope to pacify the dead man and protect the lives of their children and grandchildren.
Thanks to the clairvoyance, we finally learned the true cause of the tragedy that took the lives of my husband's brother, and their friend. Thank you for your work.
A few months after filming the episode, we learned that little Karina and Nazar are no longer afraid of anything. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing stories are coming up.